Hey, what's up, Hunter Nation? Hunter Tom here, and welcome back to another video. Now, before I start this video, I know that gun control is a very sensitive topic, as well as politics, and usually I don't dive into politics on YouTube or on any of my social media platforms. I try to stay as apolitical as I can, but I believe that this new bill C-21 that's coming out, especially for air guns, is going to affect our community. I'm going to specifically show you guys how to write a letter to your MP. It is extremely important, guys, that you do this, especially if you care for the airgun community or the airsoft community or the paintball community. I'll show you guys how to do it. Personally, I'm a big air gunner. I love shooting air guns. It's a great way to learn how to safely operate a firearm without actually shooting a firearm, and it's a great hobby. So with that said, I'm going to give you guys a guide on how you can help us and help the community, the airgun community, the airsoft community. I'm going to just say airgun probably throughout this video, but how you can help us basically counter these new provisions that the liberal government's coming out with. So the best thing you can do right now is send a letter to your MP, and I'm going to basically guide you through this process on how to do that. So step one to writing to your MP is figuring out who is your MP. So in the description below, I've linked a website where you can basically just write your postal code, or you can probably even just Google it, where you live, and then you can just write who my MP is, or who is the MP of whichever region. I'm going to give an example. So I'm going to pretend I'm from Scarborough Southwest in Ontario, and therefore I would search that up in the search bar here on this website. Once that's done, I'll see that, well, my MP is the Honorable Bill Blair. From there, on this website, you can click on the third chart here that says contact, and you'll see an email, you'll see a phone number, fax number, and also a physical address where you can send a letter. Now, email or letter, it doesn't really change that much in terms of importance. I personally think sending a printed letter is important. This video is going to show you the simple, fast way, which is going to be sending an email. It's free to send letters and the postage to the member of parliament. So keep that in mind, but it's always better, obviously, to send a letter, a paper letter, but emails also work really good. So basically, I've got Bill Blair's email right here for his contacts, and so this is the first step of the process. Now, I'm going to give you a template you can use, and I also build a template with you guys. I obviously recommend that when writing your letter, you try to be as creative as you can, and obviously, we're writing to someone, right? We don't want to express our anger, because I know a lot of you guys can be very angry from seeing this new legislation, but you got to remember, you got to think about the person that's receiving it, basically. So don't go ballistic on them. You want to stay as professional as you can and explain your point in a nice, calm way. So to make it simple, Toronto Airsoft has made a template for us to use, especially this is more for the airsoft community if they want to use this. Obviously, if you're in the paintball community, you can probably modify it to your own liking, but this should only take 15 minutes. I'll leave a link in the description below to their website, and you can see down here left a template for us to use, either a Word document or PDF document for us to use to write to an MP. So you would write, dear, in this case, I would write Honorable Blair, or Honorable Bill Blair, or Mr. Blair, whatever, or Mrs. whoever you're addressing the letter to, whoever your MP is. And then it would say, I am a constituent in your writing. So that means you're part of your voter. Obviously, if you're under 18 years old, you might want to do this with a parent. I highly recommend that you do this. No matter what your age is, we got to stand up, guys, for this. It's really important. So yeah, they've outlined basically, a very, it's more for the airsoft community that they've done this for, but it is a great template if you want to just do it for that side of the community. Any letter is a good letter, as long as there's no hateful, as long as it's not hateful garbage. It's important to just send this out. There's more than 200 members of parliament, whether it's, even if you have a member of parliament that's a conservative, you want to spread the message. You want to get these letters out to your MPs. We got to really spread the message and work on this together, guys. So obviously you can sign it and stuff, but that's the template for that. I kind of did my own template, so I'll just share it with you guys. So obviously you want to start your letter by saying, dear, whoever the letter is addressed to, and then like whether it's Mr. or Miss Blair, whatever it is, then you would write I am a constituent in your writing, which means obviously you're in the location that, you know, the voter for that location. And I am writing to you to voice my concerns about the new provisions around announced under proposed bill C-21 and how it impacts myself and my community. You know, I've just done a simple phrase on here, and I've also added the criminal code, like the actual section of the legislation that shows in Bill C-21 of the actual laws that are changing. And then what you want to do is basically you want to keep it short. You don't want to make it a long letter. You don't want to make it more than 2 pages. Try to keep it under 2 pages if you can. You don't want to ramble too much. Obviously these people are busy and you want to make it easy for them to digest. So basically what I did is I just talked a bit about my background. You want to tell them why you're enthusiastic about your hobby, about this sport, whether you work in it or whether, you know, you formed a community around it. You really want to show that person that this means a lot to you. So obviously give them a bit of a background of why you're in this community. You know, be creative, whether it's you like going out with some friends, you like, you know, teaching your kids how to shoot, or whatever it may be. You just like shooting cans in your backyard. Put that in, show that you're an enthusiast. I understand that some people, you know, they've spent thousands to $2,000 on their equipment for airsoft or air guns, and some people only spend like a couple $100s. We're all involved in this, and there's so many other Canadians that are also involved in this. They might own a Red Ryder and like in their closet or something that they forgot about for 2-3 years and haven't taken it out, and well, that's going to be illegal because it is. I'm not going to, you know, obviously jump right into they mentioned in Bill C-21. I'm going to do that in another video. It involves a lot of Canadians, so again, just write out your background, why it means a lot to you, and give them 2 or 3 reasons, specific points to justify your position, why this new bill, this section of this bill is just wrong or might need to be modified. My concerns were that it's safety. A lot of Canadians, non-shooters, like I go and I teach non-shooters how to shoot with air guns and how to shoot safely. My emphasis is on safety and teaching people how to safely operate these devices. I give the analogy of when you drive a vehicle for the first time, it's usually a 4-wheeler or a golf cart, and you usually learn the fundamentals of driving safely with a vehicle like that, or maybe even a Skidoo, and you learn the fundamentals of driving a vehicle like that before you drive a car. And that's how, you know, whether it's a Gator or a golf cart, that's how most people learn to drive. And the same thing applies to firearms. You know, a lot of people learn how to shoot safely with air guns, and then they sometimes graduate to go shooting real rifles, and at least they know those core fundamentals. It's a lot safer to shoot a air gun that shoots under 500 feet per second. These things aren't dangerous. I mean, obviously you got to wear proper safety glasses and stuff, but you want to explain that to them, because a lot of these guys don't know necessarily. You know, they see replica air gun, they think, you know, they don't know that we're talking about like toys, right? So you can explain, obviously you want to be honest. So explain that obviously, you know, you should wear safety goggles for your eyes and stuff, but in terms of actual harm, very minor, especially like airsoft. There's a lot of people, you know, that shoot each other with airsoft guns and paintball guns, and obviously they'll leave a little bruise once in a while, and you got to wear eye protection, but these things are all accounted for, right? So my emphasis was talking about the safety concerns, and obviously, you know, all the opportunities that airguns in the airgun community have brought, you know, to me. I've been able to work with airgun stores. I've been able to go to Vegas and to go to these awesome gun shows and network with a whole bunch of people. I explain that in my document. You can go off and just talk about, you know, different things here. Once you've put down your case, you might want to ask these guys questions. That helps also. But what I basically, how you want to end it is saying, how I ended it personally is I said, I believe that the relevant section of the bill in question should be carefully addressed, removed completely, or amended to exempt airsoft, paintball, and air rifles. This law does not protect the public. It does nothing to prevent gun-related crime, and it will cause harm to many Canadians who work or enjoy sport shooting with air guns as a hobby or a job. Now, obviously, I could have added, you know, more stuff to that and changed up. I basically kind of went off of Toronto Airsoft's conclusion. I find it was worded nicely. I also asked my MP that I'd like to schedule a meeting with them in person and show them these air guns. You don't have to necessarily do that. Just writing a letter and sending it out, whether it's a short email, a couple pages, you know, it takes such a short amount of time. Hopefully this guide helped you how to write it or get it started. I signed it at the end saying your concerned constituent, and I wrote my full name and then left my email. You want to make sure the follow-up is extremely important, guys. make sure that they get the letter. You can call in, ask if the letter came in. There's people that work for these people, so it's super important, guys. I really cannot stress enough, if you really care about the airgun community, the airsoft community, the paintball community, or just property in general, send a letter to your MP. This is extremely important. This law will come into place if we do not do anything. So we've got a couple months, but it takes a while to get the information to them. So the more we try together as a community, we might be a small community, but together, we have a voice. We can voice our concerns to our MPs, and this is like directly in the parliament, right? We're actually getting our concerns to the parliament, or someone in the parliament at least, so it helps a lot. And obviously I'm not a big political person, but when it comes to this, I'm involved. I have a lot of money invested in air guns, in this hobby. I've been doing it since I've been shooting air guns since 6 or 7. I've been teaching people how to shoot safely with air guns, to me, I've obviously built this YouTube channel around this. It's important to me, and I'm sure you guys have your own reasons for it being important to you guys. But writing a letter to your MP is one step. There's obviously, like I mentioned, 2 or 3 different steps you can do that will obviously help. One of them was donating to a group such as CCFR. I know you've probably heard about them by now, but if you just want to donate a bit of money to fight against this, you can donate to a group like the CCFR. There are other groups as well. I just know the CCFR is, I haven't personally donated to them yet, but there's a lot of people that have, and they're kind of on the forefront right now for fighting for firearm rights. And now we've joined the battle with them. We're part with them because of Bill C-21, obviously. But yeah, so you donate to CCFR, and another really important thing to do is educate people about it. Educate your family, your friends, and obviously gun control is a very sensitive topic, right? So if you want to debate gun control with them, for sure you can do that, but you should really focus on the airgun airsoft aspect and explain to them that toys, literally toys. Obviously you got to be 18 years old to buy them at like a Canadian Tire or something, or at a store, but literally toys that shoot plastic, BBs are being banned. Plastic toys. So, there's obviously dangers of shooting these things, especially for your eyes if you're not wearing proper eye protection, which is clearly labeled on the boxes and stuff. I'm not going to go and rant in that, but just explaining it to your friends and family, explaining how it's going to affect you, just to educate the public about it, because a lot of people will stand. I know the airsoft community, Canadian airsoft community, will not take this bill easy. They're going to always try to fight it, and if you're part of the airsoft community, I highly ask you guys to try to fight this bill. Yeah, so those are my 3 right now. What I could suggest, we're gonna hope for the best. Obviously, at least for me, I personally hope for the best for the safety of Canadians. I truly believe in the safety of Canadians, but I think this bill is absolutely wrong. I think it's gonna harm more people. It's gonna criminalize more legal people, and people that don't even have firearm license are gonna be criminalized, because a lot of people own like a BB gun, a pellet gun, some at a cottage. And most of these rifles are, I don't know any air gun that isn't modeled after a real firearm that shoots over X amount of feet per second or whatever it may be. Or even you can have an air gun in Canada that's been tuned down in Canada, but in the States it shoots over 500 feet per second. That gun will be banned. So I will obviously explain it in another video, but this is just the immediate help. What you can do, your call to action, guys. Write the letter. I can't stress it enough. And yeah. Thanks, guys. Together we can do this. We're going to get through it. We're going to try our hardest. And thanks a lot for watching the video. Please, you can do this by mobile. You can do this by computer. You can write it by hand. Doesn't matter. Please write a letter to your MP. It's one of the most important things you can do. All of us together, we can do it. We'll get through it, and we'll push through. And hopefully we can get this bill changed, and we won't lose our air guns. We won't be criminalized. And yeah, hopefully I won't have to talk about politics on my channel for a long time. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and we'll see you guys in the next video. And I'll keep you guys in touch about the new laws as best as I can, and cover it as best as I can, and come up with new things to prevent this bill. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys soon.